Today, I finally can share with you my family's and friends' reactions when I fully came out to them that I am a Muslim. I wasn't able to disclose this earlier because, to be honest, I was hurt at that time. I don't want to come to you with a story that sounds dramatic. I would rather overcome it and talk about the lessons that I learned from the pain. So, welcome to my REVERT story number 4. I will start from the time that I got to the airplane from America to Vietnam after 8 years of not seeing my family. So I was transiting in Korea, and on this second flight from Korea to Vietnam, most of the people on the airplane were Vietnamese, and they were looking at me very strange. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because this is my first time ever wearing hijab in Vietnam. After that, my family was picking me up from the airplane. My mom saw me wearing hijab before, remember when she was in America to visit me. But my dad and my brother haven't seen me with hijab yet. My father, I can tell that he was very shocked because he did not come out to help me pick up my luggage. Imagine I have 3 big luggages, and only me and my mom was taking it up to the van, and my dad did not help at all. I think he was embarrassed to show people that I am his daughter. And my brother has seen me before, but he was a very young child at that time. It was like his first time seeing me in person, and when he saw me, he was like, "Whoa, why are you wearing so different?" Because he hasn't been exposed to other cultures before. I came right before Tate, which is Lunar New Year. It is similar to Eid, the way that we visit friends and family members. So a lot of people were surprised because I looked totally different from before. People have different expressions. Some people would give me advice, others comes with a lot of judgment. Some are cool with it because maybe they just don't care. Another group of people are quite open and they actually wanted to know why I made that decision. After this, I realized that the most important thing that you should do is to appear happy with the path that you choose. If I were coming back being confused, it wouldn't turn out that good. But when I talked to them, that's my brother, with the contentment about my religion, they would understand that no matter what they tell me, I wouldn't change my decision of being a Muslim. Some of my mom's friends was telling me that, wow, she's meant to be following a religion. Her face looked pure. Some other people, they say that, wow, she came back and she's very friendly to people. I mean, I don't have to tell them, but it came from observation. Wow, my brother is making a mess behind. At first I was exhausted because the environment around me is so different from my direction of operating. But then after that, I was like, you know what, I'm cool with this. If someone look at me, I literally look at them back. I was like, I'm confident with hijab. If someone was asking me, I would come to them with science and logic, with my knowledge. And then if someone tried to give me the advice, if it's a good advice, I apply it. If not, I'll just ignore it and okay, bye. The hardest thing to deal with was my immediate family because they are such important people. They would affect me much more strongly. They knew for sure that I wouldn't change, but at the same time they would say that, okay, why do you do this? It's not good for you. It doesn't fit with who you are. I wouldn't speak up, but it's a very uncomfortable feeling. At that time I was traveling a lot. Partly it's because I needed to travel. At the same time, it was a runaway thing for me so that I don't have to be exposed to such environment. But then one day when I was at home, we were having a talk, a very serious talk, and I was so hurt at that moment and I was crying in front of my parents. To be honest, I was an introvert and I rarely show my emotion to other people. But that time I was like, I haven't done anything that is bad. I keep my dignity and morality. I just don't understand why. Whenever you see me, you will feel uncomfortable of me. My dad said that I already tell you my views about Islam. If you choose to follow Islam, you are no better than a stranger to me. And I was telling my parents that before I came back to Vietnam, you promised me that you will welcome me, but why don't you keep your promise? And then I was sharing with them about all of this was because I care about my parents and their feeling. This is very interesting that when you have a conflict with someone, both of the sides will feel hurtful, right? But because of that pain, you wouldn't want to show that person that you care and love that person, and vice versa, while that is the thing that that person needs to hear the most. After hearing this, my dad walked away and my mom did not say anything. But because of the vulnerability that I was trying to show them, my parents started to be easier on me on the next day. I mean, they act like there's no conflict happened between us. And from my side, I was like, I already feel thankful for you to not saying something that hurt me. Not too long after that, I had to go to Hanoi, the capital city. I was having a conversation with my cousin. My cousin was telling me that he sacrificed a lot for his family. He sometimes has to ignore his interest, even his happiness, just for his kids to have a life that they don't have to worry too much about money and they can focus on their life mission. He was telling me that, your parents was spending a lot of money for you to study abroad, and of course they have certain expectation for you. Of course, I know all of this, right? But being a girl, you wanted to hear from your parents that they love you. So when my cousin was telling me that how much my parents love me, is like a soothing time for me. I think I started to feel healed from that moment. There's a couple of lessons that I got from this experience. The first lesson is things can change. It really can change. I mean, I would never thought that I can come back so freely, walking around my own city, and I am the only Muslim there. But it wouldn't happen without me being comfortable within myself. This brings me to a story that my mom was telling me a while ago, that there's a competition that if someone jump out from the bridge and swim over a river that has a lot of crocodile and they still be alive, they would get a very big prize. After a lot of people standing there, one guy actually jumped down to take that challenge. He crossed over the other side of the river and people was trying to interview him, and they was like, wow, how can you be so brave to cross that river? And then this guy was turning around and he was like, who just pushed me down? So this is just a joke, but you can see that a lot of time we know that we really want to do something and we prepare our skills and experience and knowledge to achieve that. However, you're not mentally ready for it and you need someone to push you. Allah's promise that Allah does not burden a soul with something that they cannot bear. So if you feel like, wow, you don't have anywhere else to go, remember Allah already prepared you so that you can be capable of crossing that river and achieving your goal. You might be going through hardship when hearing this story. The one thing that I want to tell you is that things can change. As long as you are patient and you put your work on it, Allah is going to help you out. That's the promise of Allah.